me? No, can you? There I am. Holy crap, am I getting fat? Welcome to Pugs and Company, formerly known as Pugs Moran Live. But, we've added new people here into the mix, as this is an ever-evolving project of the Radio Misfits Network. And, so it's not just me. It's a couple of other people, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't bring them in now. Let's invite to the party, first of all, you know him, you love him. He's known as Uncle E is here. Nope, wrong one. Oh, nope. There you go. Hey. Oh, sit down, you people. Look. Whoa. This is great. That was something, huh? Look,
yeah.
They love you.
I like the clap track.
I like the Bills Mafia hat. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I this is a off-season purchase. That's all you got?
No, I didn't. All right, you know what that was? You know what that weird pause was? That was me really wanting to say something negative about the Buffalo Bills, because that's the energy that we've had for the past 15 years. He cannot not say something negative about the Chicago Bears, and I cannot not say anything negative about the Buffalo Bills. And there's probably a part of him that as soon as I brought that up, he was like, okay, here it comes. And I had nothing. I have no desire. But I do have a desire. I have a desire to bring in the other part of this here, Pugs and Company, the newest addition to the Barnstorming tour we're doing right here from the guest house in the beautiful 1%er compound. It's James. James is here. I don't. There we go. See, you got your own stuff. You got probably more stuff than me, because you're like you win. That's all. I'm out. I got no more. All right.
Eat every day.
Okay. All right. Are you? You're taunting us now. Hey, by the way, play that again, James.
Smoke weed every day.
You two are fathers. Let's get right into this. Is it a problem if your 12-year-old walks around and says that because of that song all the time? So constant that it's almost like he ends a sentence. What if your son were to say, hey, you know what? We should go out. We should do that. And then we should have this for dinner. Smoke weed every day. That is what I'm dealing with my kid. He doesn't smoke weed every day. At least I hope not. But he has. What's going on with your sound?
Nothing. Hello?
There he is.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did I hit something?
So, yeah, hold on. I'm trying to do something here. Remember yesterday I learned how to get rid of that lower third so that we didn't. There it is. I wasn't sure I know how to do it. Yeah, somehow my kid, who loves hip hop, he loves music in general, but somehow he has become a big fan of that song, and that's kind of something he sometimes says, and not actually, if I'm being truly honest, not in a long time. It's worse because he used to do that when he was like 10. that was like something he said when he was 10.
Does he know what he's saying, though? Does he know what he's saying? He's
smoke weed every day. Yeah. Does he know?
Does he even know?
Yeah, of course he does, because he's smart, and we've had
the parallel story I have from the Parker household is there's one of these Fortnite dances that's based off the old Soulja Boy song. And so they say Superman that, oh, Superman that, oh, and they have no idea what that means. You don't either.
I have no idea.
You have to do that on your own time, bud. We are not explaining that on this show. This is
Emil,
not.
do you have any idea what that means?
I don't.
I'm not doing this. I'm not your dad. I'm not explaining to you what a Superman is.
Is this like some weird sex position or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's
Oh,
an act.
okay. Yeah. Well, you know.
Wait, you got to give someone a cape. That's yeah.
You can't even be like roundabout about it and explain. Give someone a cape. Emil, got anything? I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I wore a cape this morning at carpool.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Hope that's not bad.
Did your kid love that? Or did you do that to embarrass your kid?
No, the school was doing something for reading, and readers are supposedly superheroes.
Mm.
So they had the dads in the carpool line wear superhero capes.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever do anything like that, James? To purposely? Oh God, I bet you do. To embarrass your kids, just to make them remember who their dad is.
Sometimes I'm kind of known as, before the coronavirus thing happened, I would go to my kids' cafeteria every Taco Tuesday. And it was brilliant because I have 4 kids, so I got to eat like 4 servings of tacos in a row.
That is awesome.
It was such a big move, and the lunch ladies thought it was so hilarious because they saw me. And usually I would make it through 3. I couldn't do 4.
And were you the guy? Were you the guy on the news at this time when you were just showing up to the?
Yeah. But it was like 4th ranked network here, so not a whole lot of people know. I don't think they knew me from that. But
do you volunteer to serve lunch, or do you just go there to eat lunch?
No, I just go there to eat lunch. I know it's time the first one to eat, and then they just cycle through in order. Like I just stay in the cafeteria for 2.5 hours.
He's not there to help. He's there to make his tax dollar go as far as it can. And if that means getting him lunch, then there you go. So
and they're good tacos. Good tacos.
It's funny that you said that when I asked you guys if you ever did anything to embarrass your kids, I was actually thinking of a kid who at the time would have been considered my best friend. His dad used to do a lunchroom cafeteria thing from time to time, and I loved it. Okay, first of all, you know how okay, so you got like 10 friends, and like 8 of your friends' dads are like total dicks, and you're afraid of them, and you just don't want to have anything. You know what I mean? Cool, dad's coming, be cool, like that. So this particular dad was like the most awesome, fun dad. He was a much older dad. He was kind of like you and me. Actually, if I do the math, it's probably like around there. So he was an older dad. He was semi-retired. He owned a bunch of car dealerships, and he was just he was a bigger than life personality. He was a Mr. Joss. He's no longer with us, but he was like the greatest. And he used to purposely, his son was Jay, my friend. He used to purposely either take the lunch, because he'd get in late at night and lunch would be in the refrigerator already made. He'd either take the lunch and hide it, or make sure that there was no lunch money for the kids, so the kid would go to school without lunch, only so that he could show up at lunch, to give him either his bag lunch or his lunch money. But he would show up at lunch in a bathrobe with slippers. and he was a big, heavy set man. He had a big bushy mustache with gray hair, and he knew damn well where we were in the lunchroom, but he would walk into the lunchroom and he'd start screaming his kid's name so that everybody looked. It was the best. That guy was so funny. We lost him recently. What a wonderful man he was. He was so funny. But I look forward to that. I look forward to the day when I can do something that will absolutely humiliate my child. And the problem is, my kid, I can already tell, ain't gonna have a sense of humor about it. I think everybody else will, but I think my kid will probably not talk to me. All right, how are you today, guys? What's new? What's happening? How we doing?
Well,
don't all talk at once.
I'm sitting, with bated breath here, waiting for the Gabby Patino talk.
No, yeah, we'll get it. Now, we may not get to that today. That may not. Well, right now, okay. So, a couple of things. Let's tell you about what's going on today. First, Gotta have my drink.
You
Emil's
still nursing that Jameson?
I told. Pro tip: Jameson is not an expensive whiskey. It's a working man's whiskey. But if you need to shave a couple of bucks off the Jameson, you can go to it's Target. Yeah, I think it is Target where I got this. You can go to Target, or wait, maybe it's Walmart. It might be. I don't know, Target or Walmart. This was a bottle that I had brought with me just in case things got particularly dark. I needed some whiskey, so yeah, we finished off the legit bottle of Jameson. The house brand Irish whiskey at Walmart, Sam's Club. Is that Walmart? Sam's Club is Walmart, right? Same company.
Yes.
Yeah, Sam Walton. Okay, so the house Irish whiskey at Walmart is Jameson, and it's like half the price. It's made at the Jameson distillery. It is 100% Jameson. Walmart just buys it and they put it in and I think it's called Sam's Irish, whatever. It's something, but and you just buy it, you pour it in your Jameson bottle, and you got a half price Jameson. Hey, I'm on a budget. I read an article about Gene Street. You know Gene Street, right, Emil?
I do.
Read an article recently about Gene Street, and his key to success is count the pennies. Always count the pennies, because if you count the pennies, those pennies over 50 years will add up to a home in Maui. Well, yeah, okay. It's a good way to live. Who was Gene Street? Emil, or is Gene Street? I think he's like an 80-something-year-old
He's
guy.
a restaurateur around here. Very successful. Got started many, many years ago. Owned the Black Eyed Peas and Three Forks.
Wow.
Number of different restaurants.
200. Owned 200 restaurants. This article that I was reading.
Wow. That is impressive.
So the key to success in that business, count the pennies, just like I'm doing. Pro tip, the house Irish whiskey at Sam's Club is Jameson. So if you like Jameson, here you go. All right. And I'm not classless. If people came over, I pour it into the Jameson bottle. They're none the wiser. I'm not going to let them think they also, by the way, have a really good Scotch. Their aged Scotch, their Sam's Club version of Scotch is like a really good Scotch. I don't know the name. I can't really, but Sam's Club, they can call like Glenmorangie or something like a Glenfiddich, and they can say, we want 50 billion barrels of your stuff. Sell it to us at 1/4 the price, and they'll be like, all right, whatever. So that's how that stuff is doing. It's not the first time. I was the son of a working class single mom. So my first Atari system was not an Atari system. It was the Sears Roebuck brand Atari system, which was the exact same thing. It was just an Atari with the Sears Roebuck thing slapped right on it. Looked exactly the same, looked identical. But yeah, my rich kid friends would come over and be like, you don't even have a real Atari. And then I'd punch them, and then we'd have a fight. And then, we'd go back to being friends after a few minutes. All right, here's what we're going to get into today on Pillow Talk. We do this every day at 10 o'clock, 10 to midnight, or dark noon, as I like to call it. We're going to have, we also do the show, the High Noon Show, which comes on. Guess what time? Guess what time High Noon comes on?
Noon.
That'd be right. Yeah, very good. We do that from noon to 2 every day. On today's Pillow Talk, we're going to, of course, get into more of the Gabby Petito story. As I predicted, there are more details that came out. A confirmation of some things that we had speculated about. We were speculating as to whether or not Crystal and Brittany, the lesbian couple who were found dead up there, we speculated that, okay, we don't need that. We speculated that possibly they had been working at the Moonflower Co-op at the time.
One of the lesbians was working there, I think.
Well, we didn't know if they were working there at the time. Turns out that Crystal was, and both Crystal and the other one, both of them worked there. They didn't. One just worked there more. One was.
I thought one worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, maybe the other one, the older one, right?
Like she had just gotten off of work at McDonald's before they got killed at the camp.
Yeah, well, she might have multiple they're
Right?
living in a van, man. They might have multiple minimum wage jobs, you know? I mean, but they were both, at times employees of the hippie co-op there in,
Okay.
Moab, Utah. And so we were wondering if, one or both were there at the time, and yes, one of them was. One of them was there. If we are to believe the story that the kids in question, Brian and Gabby, were there from 9 AM to 3 PM, then yeah, they were there all day working on their computer and stuff, and they were bickering back and forth the whole time.
6 hours?
Yeah, yeah, man. Hey,
That's a
I've done
little
that at a
suspect.
Starbucks when I was, working on something or writing, absolutely. I mean,
And
the time would
homeless,
fly
yeah.
by.
Yeah.
But we were wondering if one or both were working there at the time or were present when this fight came down. And yes, it turns out that one of them, Crystal, had been working there until an hour and a half before they left. So her shift ended like if they left at 3, her shift ended at what, like 1:30. So she was there for the bulk of it. She was there for like the whole thing. So that came through. Now the FBI is taking a very deep, hard look at a connection between the two, which just as of a couple of days ago was just you know, amateur sleuths going, "Hey, that's kind of weird. That's something." And then the Moab Police Department said that, "Oh, we're looking into it. We know it's weird. This is odd for around here." And they went and called the FBI and said, "Hey, we need some help. It's just me and Cletus. We don't really know what we're looking for." So,
Cody.
yeah, yeah. So the FBI is on that one, and so we'll get into all that. Also, something I wanted to do because we have James here, and James is a musical guy. We only talked about the bottom 10 and the top 10 of the Rolling Stones 500 greatest songs. So I thought we could maybe go through some of those again. Well, now we got 3 people to decide whether or not they belong on the list of greatest
I saw
songs.
the list. It's absolute trash. Trash.
Absolute trash. I mean, there's nothing that belongs on there, James. I mean, you didn't see one song. It's absolute trash is a mighty big statement.
Well, also, once you mess up like the top 10, the rest of it's all a travesty because the song that should be in the top 10, you see them at like 22 and 33. And yeah, it trashes up the whole list.
Emil, what was your take on the top 10? What was your problem with the top 10?
I think what James is saying is accurate. The fact that there's songs in the top 10 that don't belong in the top 10, how can you then look at the rest of the list and go, okay, this is somehow going to make itself right? Like
I look at the top 5. I mean, I won't say the top 10 because there's a couple of good ones in the top 10. But I look at the top 5 songs and I go, "Oh, this is a really cool list of the top or most impactful social statement songs of all time." But I wouldn't say that it's the top songs of all time. I mean, they got a little friggin' Rolling Stone getting way too preach. Look, Aretha Franklin's Respect is a great song. It belongs in the top 50, but not number 1. Are you kidding me? Oh my god! And then the only Rolling Stone, the highest ranking Rolling Stone song is number 13. "Gimme Shelter." "Gimme Shelter" should be a top 10 song easily. But James, one of the things that me and Emil went back and forth on. What did you think about Public Enemy, "Fight the Power" being in there?
Someone's making a political statement, a social statement. I don't know if it's necessarily political, but yeah, the list was totally ate up with that.
Yes, it was ruined because when you try and shoehorn one song in there, then you're screwing up everybody else. Someone that should be number 46 is now number 51 or whatever. It's getting pushed back because all these songs that are being shoehorned in. I made a case for "Fight the Power" because "Fight the Power" by Public Enemy came out at a time when only Black people listened to hip hop music, 1988, 1989. And I count "Fight the Power" as the first hip hop song I ever heard that I liked. And I know a lot of other white
come on. Run DMC didn't beat him by 3 years. You be illin'. Run DMC. You be illin'. That didn't beat Fight the Power by at least 3 years. And Beastie Boys were already a thing in 1986.
Yes, Beastie Boys, that wasn't normal hip hop to us. Beastie Boys was hip hop that was produced to specifically appeal to me. to appeal to white suburban kids. Hard guitar riffs, more musical than beats. That was a different thing. Run
But you still
DMC.
listen to "You Be Illin'," right? Wasn't that a universal hit, top to
Yeah, but
bottom?
those weren't the ones we liked. We liked the ones that sounded like cool songs. Like You Gotta Fight for Your. Oh, we like Brass Monkey, and we we like No Sleep Till Brook. Look, my
Right, and
point is the first scary hip hop song. How about that? The first scary hip hop song.
scary hip-hop song.
If we saw it being performed on the street corner, we'd roll the windows up and lock the doors. The first scary hip hop song that I liked, and a lot of white people of my age liked, was "Fight the Power" by, like I described. If I remember the first time I heard it, I walked into a frat party, a bunch of white guys with backwards baseball caps, singing "Fight the Power."
Well, there's also the other side of the spectrum where Nirvana "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is what, number 6, and it's not the 6th best song in the world. It did have probably the 6th biggest impact of any song as far as changing the entire direction of popular music.
Yeah, and I'd put it in the top 3 because of what it did to music, how radically it changed. We went from Ace of Base at number 1 to the next week, the grunge movement was here. It was a totally huge shift. We took it away from the record company guys in Los Angeles who were doing pre-produced Milli Vanilli, New Kids on the Block bullshit, and it went back right into the garages where any kid with a Stratocaster, and a cool mom, could form a band and start playing. So, I mean, that's why I think it is. And you gave it due credit. You called it one of the most impactful songs of all time, and it was, but I think it's in the top 3.
No, I don't even think it's one of Nirvana's best songs, though.
I think it's their most important song.
Well, most important. So this is a different list. Now we're not talking about best songs.
No. We are talking. We know, because when you're saying your favorite song, you don't think that's you. That's relative to you. We're talking about these are the greatest songs, not the songs we like the best, the greatest. And I guess you'd have to encounter. Look, I'm not defending the list because I also have an issue with it. I think we're parsing words. Anyway, we'll get into this a little bit more. Also, I want to play some videos. We've got a new edition of American Vidiots, only this time it's called Which Hurt Most? And we'll watch 3 videos of people injuring themselves, and then we'll try and figure out which hurt most, as well as we're going to get into Gabby. Should we start with Gabby right away? Should we get into that right now?
No.
Okay. Did you watch the
whole hour? Yeah.
Do you guys want to go through more of that? Emil, we only watched the first 15 minutes. There's a lot of
cam just to fill everyone in.
Yeah, I think I don't know that. Well, obviously, we're not going to have time to watch the whole hour, but I think we can chop through it to the points that we think are important.
All right. So we'll do that. We're of course talking about Gabby Petito. Hashtag Gabby Petito was trending most of the day, but then football started. And I guess day broke in South Korea, and then there must be a wrestling event because that's all that's trending right now. I'm telling you, the idiot hours on Twitter are between 8:00 at night and 11:00 at night. That's when the absolute worst stuff trends, like just garbage, disposable stuff. During the day, there are good things. There's actually news stories and events that are happening that trend. But for some reason, sometime after 8:00 Central Time, it just goes to crap. And Gabby Petito has fallen by the wayside to Jason Garrett and Daniel, what's his nickname?
Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes. That's his nickname. Danny Dimes. By the way, what's the score? What happened there in the Giants-Redskins game?
Well, currently it's 27-26 Washington. Giants just picked off a pass, and they're now at the Washington 20, and we'll see.
How much time?
2 minutes and 16 seconds.
All righty. So this one will not go to overtime. This will be a decisive win for one of the teams. Nobody can score 1 point if I have my football knowledge all in place. All right, so we got a whole bunch of that stuff to do. Although, I got to say, James got to earn his keep around here. I challenged you because, by the way, Is Brian Laundrie the most despised person in America right now? I mean, besides Jason Garrett, is Brian Laundrie the most despised person in America right now, or what? You need to read the hashtag Gabby Petito threads. People are killing this kid.
And that's not fair. That's not fair. You know, a whole lifetime of being a good guy and you kill one girlfriend and all of a sudden you're like,
yeah, that's it. Emil, you were saying?
Well, I mean, given the circumstances, it doesn't make a lot of sense that he's not talking to people.
Mm.
So I think that in itself is just, pissing a bunch of people off.
Brian Dirty Laundry, as we dubbed him here on the show, is the boyfriend of Gabby Petito. I keep wanting to say Petino. Gabby Petito, who went missing. They drove cross country together. They left on June 2nd, and he showed up back at home with her van, and she's nowhere to be found. Her parents want to know where she is, and he ain't talking about it. And there are just pieces of a crazy puzzle scattered all over the Mountain West, or whatever that part of the country is called. So we challenged you, James, to earn your keep here. We said, I think that Brian Dirty Laundry deserves his own song. And I said, I know that you're a man with, some skills in the musical arena and all of that. You're a man after my own heart. I broke into radio as a parody song king. That was my whole game. So Kelly too. Kelly used to write and create all the parody songs for the Danny Bonaducci show that were pretty good. Not just Kelly and some other people. But on the show that I was on, it fell to me because nobody else wanted to do that stuff. And I was like, oh, I want to do that stuff. And you did some amazing stuff for me and Kelly when you were our producer and sidekick back there in the day at Live 105.3. So I challenged you, not thinking at all that you would rise to the occasion. Have you written a song for Brian Laundry, the most despised man in America?
Have I? Yeah, I wrote a masterpiece. What are you talking about?
Can we hear it?
Oh, I thought you had it over there. I can play it over here. That's no problem.
I got it on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't let me talk it up. You didn't let me do it properly.
Well, you want to talk over the intro here?
No. Yeah. Why not? I can talk.
We're running out of time now.
All right. Well, that's up to me, isn't it? I'm the guy talking. Here's Brian Dirty Laundry by James Parker.
You'll see me lately on the evening news, 'cause everybody's looking for some clues. People all up in my views, they want Brian Laundry. A YouTube actor living in the van for a year. I don't have to look good, and that's why she's here. Gabby punched me in my ear, 'cause I'm Brian Laundry. We'll talk to a mom, we'll talk to a dad, we'll talk to the cops, we'll talk to the feds.
Wow.
I like it.
We'll talk to a mom, we'll talk to a dad, we'll talk to the cops, we'll talk to the feds. I've got the unstable bleach blonde, screaming and crying.
No, I don't like that.
Got the clubs on the roadside, patient and trying. Make us go our separate ways, 'cause I'm Brian Laundry. When I get back home in Gabby's van, she wasn't with me, now everyone is mad. Who killed the youth called lesbians? It's not Brian Laundry.
Now James's guitar solo. Is that all?
Yes, and then it slowly fades out. The glory fades slowly.
All right, here's what I need you to do because
I emailed you the lyrics. Is that what you wanted?
No. Sound quality is a little bit sketchy on your end. So can you just email that to me? And that'll be easy for me to just play on my end, and it'll be a little bit clearer, I think. Because I noticed every time I talked, kind of went down a little.
All right. Yep, I can do that.
Doing now.
Yeah. Very.
Wow, hang on.
Go ahead.
Very, very good. I mean,
thank you.
I like it. I mean, I don't like the circumstances by which he had to write it, but it is a good parody song.
It's lemonade out of lemons. That's how you got to see it. So you convince yourself you're not selling your soul.
Hey, did you just send it to the email I sent you the link to?
Yup. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, well, no, yeah, that's fine. Hold on. Huh.
That one. You want to send it to a different one?
Yeah, send it to the other one. Can you
It is
send?
the other
I can't do this. I suck at this. I'm so bad at this stuff.
Let me drop it in the Facebook Messenger window. Would that
Nope.
be easy?
Nope. Can't
You
open
got it?
Facebook. Yeah, and I can't for some reason switch out of this. Hold on. Let's try this again. Let's.
Brady in the chat room says, as far as murder songs go, it's top notch.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm just happy you don't laugh me out of the room.
No. Yeah. So, have you come up with any alternate theories besides he killed her?
Okay, so yeah. So she got assaulted somehow by the lesbians. I don't know, maybe drugged, but somehow the lesbians did something and she shot the lesbians. And so he, in order to save her, because he really does love her, maybe drove her off and dropped her off somewhere and took her phone with him and is just stalling so she can make a run for Canada or Mexico, or we don't know, but she's trying to run away and start her life over and not get hung with this murder rap. Now, I don't think that's probable. I think it's possible, but I'm trying to think of alternate scenarios too, and that's one of them. Maybe she's the one who shot the lesbians, and then since she's on the lam, the longer he doesn't say anything, which right now, just keeping your mouth shut, you're not breaking any laws. That's a way for him to not get in trouble, but also stall for time so she can make that DB Cooper escape.
If it's not her in some sick way trying to promote herself and her blog,
God,
that
so
that
brilliant if it is.
that is another plausible idea. The thing that throws me though is, and this just doesn't really make sense. Why does he go home for 6 days? And what takes 6 days to unpack a storage room? And then you come back for 4 or 5 days to then leave again? I mean, there's just and you're broke when you're on the side of the road, but then all of a sudden you got money for a round trip ticket from Utah back to Florida, back to Utah.
Okay, now what were the dates he went back? It was after she killed the lesbian, so he is setting the stage up so they can go on the run, so she can go on the run.
Yeah,
He's getting all her crap out of his house. So if the cops do have to go look at her stuff, they go to the storage unit and not his house.
Yeah, they go on the 12th to they
That's when
have
they
the
get pulled
incident on
over.
the 12th in Moab. The new lesbian or newly married lesbian couple leaves the bar on the 13th. They then don't show up to work at Moonflower on 14th, and then they're found dead, riddled with bullets and partially naked below the waist on the 18th. He has flown home on the 17th, which is the day before, and Gabby's in a hotel from the 17th to I think it's about the 25th or so when he gets back. So she's here in Utah with a van. We don't know whether she had the cell phone or he had the cell phone, but I got to believe that she's not staying in a hotel by herself without some form of communication, being the cell phone or a computer. Now I've lost you.
Oh, no. I was just saying, I totally agree. That's all completely suspect. And I think Pugs is starting a new show and another stream. Are we both going to have to move over there?
Oh, well, he's calling me now. Hold on.
Yeah, so you got to do the same thing. All right,
Hello?
everyone watching this, Pugs got dropped from his own
Can
feed.
I reconnect? Oh,
Yeah, we've got to reconnect to join him on the new one.
okay. So we leave you. All right.
Yeah, so let me ditch this one, and y'all come over to the whatever the new feed is.